Hello everyone. Today, comparing to my previous videos, we will have some, I would say, difficult stuff to deal with. So today, I will show you of how to connect to your Salesforce organization using JWT token. And we'll do this using Postman. I'm doing it myself for various projects using Node.js, and it makes sense because you can, of course, create OAuth authorization in your Salesforce, but when we are talking about server-to-server communication, it doesn't make sense to use OAuth because you need to pass through this visual part when you approve this access, and JWT token makes total sense when we are talking about server to server without any UI involved. Of course, when you're doing like some OAuth from Salesforce to somewhere else, yes, you can do this visual stuff. But for many projects with the only integration, when third party is going into your Salesforce work, you just need to use JWT token. And let's quickly walk through this process. I did it several times already, so now I feel better about explaining how it works. And it's not so easy. So first of all, you'll need to go to settings and external client app manager, new external client app, and I'll simply call it, for this scenario, submission job app. This is because I have objects called here submission jobs, and in our imaginary world, so this third-party server will come to Salesforce as a state server, because third party is stateless. So here it will take some jobs to execute on another server, and we need to know this job states about new jobs. We need to change status and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm calling this app like this, based on this object name. Contact email, it can be anything. Let's call it pavel@x.com. Here you can skip everything. Maybe I'll miss something, but we'll return to it later. Callback URL can be also whatever, but valid. It needs to have HTTPS and some domain name, so we can just leave it here as local. With the scopes, I'll use API and refresh token. Enable JWT Bearer Flow, and now a little bit complex part comes into the game. All right, so we need to have so how system works. We need to generate private and public key, and public key will be uploaded here to the Salesforce, and private key will be used by my third-party server to sign all requests. And in this particular case, to sign this authentication request. Let's do this. So I already did it before, but let's make it from scratch. Delete, move to trash. I have these commands ready to go. So with this one, I'm going to create my private key. Well, what's going on? I mean, couple of private and public key, but also Salesforce works with this format of PKCS8 key. So we need to convert our key into this format. Yes, and now this guy will be used in our Postman, because we'll do all the flow from Postman just to simplify everything. But here we will use this certificate. So let's upload it. Oh, we can drop it. Interesting. We can drop it here, but can I open Reveal in Finder? Nice. Nice, I can do this. So now I need my Finder. Yes. All right. We set our public key to here. And now we only need to create our guy, our external client app. Now, it is not over. Also, we will need to say what user, on behalf of what user all these API interactions will be made. So by default, we can, of course, allow all users to authorize, but it's better if we're talking about production to have separate user for this matter. And I already have created one with the minimal access and with only few things assigned to his permission set. So first is access to our object that we're going to manipulate with, to fetch it and change. And second is also very important in system settings. So you need to allow you need to allow an access to some objects that you want to deal with from that third-party server, and you also need to enable this API enable checkbox. That's it. That's basically it. And after that, you will be able, okay, to select this permission set from this list. In my case, it's called external client app access. External client app access. Yes, very good. Yeah. So now from this part, it should work. Now we have user on behalf of which will log in and he will have access to this API. Also, I'll show you something first. So first we need to do token request. Once I'm in the sandbox, I'll use this domain, and if we'll be in production, we'll use login instead of test. Here, what we need to do, so we'll use this URL, authorization JWT Bearer, add JWT to query param, algorithm. Here by default it was HS, but we need RS256. Also now we need to copy here our private key. Do not mix it up. We need private key not from key file, but from this pkey ts8 key file. I'm copying it. Yeah. Please don't use it, because anyway I will replace it after this video. But who knows, maybe I'll forget. Okay. So, and now we also need to send this payload to authorize our user. So this is our user name in the system, which has that permission set. I'll show you also to make it more visual. External API user, and this user email is equals to what we see here. Also, we are setting here our authorization URL, and we're also setting here this key expiration. time in seconds. There are a number of ways of how you can get it. For example, if you want to make it like work for next 60 minutes or 5 minutes, you can write here date now plus, for instance, 5 minutes plus 60, multiply by 60 and multiply by 1000. And the result, we will ignore last 3 digits because they are milliseconds. So this expiration date will work for till the next 5 minutes. But here I put just 9 here to have it much more in advance. What else? And this guy, it's tricky to find it, but I'll show you. That's why you needed to watch this video, because I'll show you where to find this guy. And I do not remember. Probably it's in settings or OAuth settings. And yes, it is here. Consumer key and secret. Wow, now I need to wait for this email to come. Additional security. Interesting. My MacBook is smart enough. Okay, so we need this guy, consumer key. Let's copy it and paste to here. It seems that everything is aligned, and we only need to also put here query param name to be assertion and remove what was here. I don't know. Will it work with this course or not? Yes, it works. And now we have our access key and instance URL. You see, we didn't like say what our instance URL is, but it was returned here. And we have some automation in our Postman. So you see, we have script that set our Postman variables, access key and instance URL from this response. And now let's fetch that jobs. So I'm using this instance URL variable and this query param is set as query param. Let's try it, and yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 submission jobs, like here. Ta-dam, ta-dam, ta-dam. Let's change something actually. Cute. In progress. Send. In progress. You see? Everything works smoothly. Yeah, now you are master of JWT tokens, and you can conduct lectures in university probably. Anyway, so that was complex thing, but it's only first step in what waits for you down the road. But anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you very much for attention. And please send me your questions if you have one or two or many. Goodbye.